Like the Arizona Cardinals. Did you catch all that yesterday? That they're like, there's that whole player. We should talk about this a little later. There's basically a private players union vote. And
we touched on it a little bit yesterday.
Right, they gathered data and then put it out sort of anonymously as this is what the players think about all of the teams based on all of these categories. How's your training facility? How's your food? How do you treat families? This is all there. And the 49ers graded relatively high. I think they came in 7th place out of the 30 teams and had some pretty good grades. The only thing that wasn't an A or B was the training facility,
right?
Which is interesting. Training staff got high grades. Training facility, not as much. But some stuff came out about the Arizona Cardinals. It was just like if you go in there after hours, they charge you for meals. Cardinals players.
Yeah.
So if you work late, if you're like, hey, coach, I'm putting in extra work today. And then afterwards you're like, hey, man, can I get like a little pork sandwich on the way home or something like that?
$12.95.
Sure, we're going to take that out of your paycheck.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
And they charge them to use the training facility in the off-season. So
only team to do that. You know those things, by the way.
I want to get better, so come on in, and you'd be better off going to 24-Hour Fitness or Planet Fitness where things might be a little bit cheaper. The Cardinals ranked 31 out of 32 in this survey. Only the Washington Commanders, there's a shock. With Daniel Snyder at the helm, ranked lower.
You can't hide bad ownership.
Right.
You cannot.
Well, and Arizona's right there.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I know the Chargers were down there as well. Also bad ownership.
You cannot hide bad ownership.
Right.
And you cannot pitch to me that it doesn't matter. Because people are, well, how does that affect things on the field? It just does. Are you a believer in company morale? Are you a believer, obviously, in what free agents can you get? I mean, if I'm a free agent and I've got multiple offers, why would I go to one of these teams? And the players talk to each other, and this information is readily available to them. You can't hide bad ownership.
Treatment of families, F. Food service nutrition, F-. Weight room, F-.
I didn't even know F- existed.
Strength coaches, A.
Is this Cardinals?
Yes.
Okay.
Training room, F-. Training staff, B+.
Okay.
Locker room, F. Team travel, B+. All that adds up to be an F, tied for last.
Jeez.
Yeah.
What is an F-? Like, in other words,
it's impossible. It's like an A+. It doesn't exist.
Bad as you could possibly be, but it's actually worse than that.
What goes into the family aspect to this? Because I'm looking at a team like the Rams and the Chargers. They play at SoFi. Are they like just not accommodating to their families, like with tickets? Or how is that?
I'm looking at the thing here from the report card. Support of families. They were tied for 31st. One of 14 teams that do not offer a family room. And one of 11 teams that do not offer daycare.
Interesting. Yeah,
so there you go.
It's a lot of stuff. Like if you let's say you go to San Francisco Giants game, if you go down on that, like where that bottom facility is, where there's a food court, and then if you go down the hall, the locker room's on one side, you'll see on the other side, there's a big room there that's just for the families.
Exactly.
And the kids are in there playing with, they're playing with all kinds of toys and doing stuff. And that's a small thing, but it's not to them. Like the treatment of families goes all over the place. You remember when Chris Bryant was acquired by the Giants, he spoke publicly about what the team did, like what was waiting for him in the hotel room when he flew out.
Yeah.
It's really simple as this. When you acquire a player or when you've got a player, is your thought process, we're acquiring the player or we're acquiring the family? You know what I mean? And
exactly.
It's a small thing to acknowledge wives, kids, make things available for them, make things comfortable for them. And my gosh, like think about it. Any employee, how much would that matter to you?
Right.
It's huge.
Well, and think about being a football player where you want to be able to train and be the best you can be. They got an F- in their weight room. Players describe it as a health and safety risk just to walk through the weight room. The flooring is nearly a unanimous complaint. The floors are uneven. The floorboards are peeling up.
It's so wild.
So you walk in, I'm an Arizona Cardinal, and I'm thinking, man, I'm going to get my lift on. I want to be the best Cardinal I could be. And you don't feel safe even walking into the weight room.
And I'm one of the 500 best athletes in the planet on a football field. We're getting highly paid, and our owners are worth billions. of dollars simply because they own the team. They are worth billions of dollars, and you can't give me floorboards and a babysitter? Right. Holy hell.
Right.
So, by the way, tuck this into a conversation that I think we often have about the 49ers and even some of the other teams. The Warriors count for this for sure. The Giants are a little bit more wobbly right now. The A's, we know. Like, when we have conversations about head coaches and structure and, oh, my gosh, like 49ers, oh, they mismanaged the draft. They had Solomon Thomas. Like, the 49ers, this definitely shades my opinion sometimes. This is a very strong structure of a team.
They were 7th out of 32 in the same ranking.
Like, they get it. They build a good clubhouse, locker room with chemistry, and they see and hear one another. And it doesn't mean they're perfect. Nobody is. And they mess up, and there's bad signings and bad picks and bad play calls. But in general, what's your baseline? This is a healthy, strong, smart organization.
Yeah, the structure.
It's trying to do the right thing and does more often than not.
They are one of 14 teams that do not offer a family room, but they do offer daycare. Quality of food, they were ranked 5th. They offer all 3 meals provided. And speaking in terms of...
Have you ever had one of their meals there?
Dude, the press box is incredible. I go there hungry.
What about like one time I got invited in to have the meal at the practice cafeteria. Yo, I could eat there every day of the year. I'd be fat. But football players, some of them are fat. So it's okay.
Right.
But man, I was like, y'all got to-go boxes? This is delicious.
C+ in the training room, and half the team feels like they don't have enough hot tub space. So that's why they got
too hot in the hot tub.
Not enough hot tub. Hot tub. Not enough room in the hot tub. They need more hot tubs. Yeah. But to your point, it starts with that. And if you're a coach or if you're a member of the training staff, do you really want to go work for Washington or work for Arizona?
No.
It makes your job harder.
If you have options, no. And look, how about Eric Bieniemy? You got options? Nope. All right, then we'll go work for Washington.
Right.
You know, I mean, yes, he could have stayed with Kansas City, but gosh, that stuff matters so much. And I think it's really cool to have it come out because fans, this is stuff that we don't get. We don't know what the hell is going on in the
We don't know how many hot tubs they have.
Right. Food facility. You got good short ribs over there? Like, I don't know. So I found it to be very interesting.